wanna see what's going on. Ride my vibe, baby.
Let me ride the vibe. Listen, ride the vibe. Listen, ride the vibe. Listen.
I wanna see what you've been on.
What's up, Game Changers, and welcome to the Game Changers Podcast. I'm your host, TJ, aka Mr. Game Changer, and I'm back with another episode. This is episode 114 of the Game Changers Podcast. Welcome to all my new listeners. Welcome to all my current and old listeners. Shout out to everybody listening. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the Game Changers Podcast everywhere. TikTok is going up. TikTok is going up. I went live the other day. About close to 500 people was in and out of that live. Man, TikTok, bruh. If there was ever a platform war, TikTok would be winning right now. Okay, I'm going, and I'm not just talking about analytics and numbers. Of course, we have to go by that. So let's talk about the numbers. I think obviously TikTok would be first if we're talking about the social media wars. But I think as far as numbers, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think Facebook would be second as far as numbers. Now, if I'm just ranking them as my favorite, I'll probably say TikTok first, then Twitter, then Instagram, then Facebook. But I don't really be on Facebook like that. But as far as the numbers, I think Facebook will be in second, then Instagram, then Twitter. But man, TikTok been lit, man. Go to my TikTok. Like I said, all platforms, Game Changers Podcast. I'm just currently trying to translate that to my YouTube, which you are watching this on right now. Welcome, like I said, welcome. And we got a few things to get to today. Okay, we got a few things. And I'm not going to try to rush through them. But it is a lot of things in the media that's going on right now. And it's a few things that I won't touch on. Like the Cardi B situation. Is she pregnant? Is she not? She just came out and said she pregnant. Well, what Young Thug say? Whoop-de-doo. Okay, she's pregnant again. Someone tweeted she went from a wife to a baby mama. Hey, I'm not here to get into all of that. It's just a lot of things online have been funny. A lot of things online haven't been funny. And I'm here to talk about it. Let's start off. Let's just get him out the way. Let's start off with Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Y'all know I'm an avid Bears fan. And I'm going to keep it real. I think Caleb Williams, I think this is a start of a new era. I said this the last episode. But I think he needs to play way better. It's been a lot of passes that have just been under and overthrown. Mostly overthrown. But he's been very inaccurate. And it's been very irritating. Like, I can speak for all of the Bears fans out there. It's been very, very irritating watching Caleb Williams and this Bears offense run. And honestly, it's been irritating watching that defense. Like, we as the Bears, we're known for defense, and we've been playing terrible defense. Terrible defense. Who we play? The Lions? I think we gave up close to 500 total, 550, 600 total yards. Like, that's insane, bro. But let me just focus on Caleb Williams real quick. First game against the Vikings, 210 yards, one touchdown, QB rating 86. Versus the Lions, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 91 QB rating. His overall QB rating is an 89.1. That's bad. And I'm going back to his accuracy because these are decent numbers. Not good enough, but these are decent numbers. But his inaccuracy, his decision making, certain things that he chooses to do in and outside of the pocket. You know, we've seen flashes of what Caleb Williams can be, but the consistency is not there. So all you people saying, oh, we should have kept Justin Fields. I mean, I agree, but now we're in this situation that we're in. But like I said in the past episode, we're in a new era of Chicago Bears football. Will we go to the Super Bowl this year? No. But I'm thinking 2 or 3 years down the line, I think Caleb Williams can be our quarterback, and he can do a damn good job at that, especially if we surround him with the right parts. I'm not going to say we have the best offensive line in the league, because I mean, they didn't look the best. Like, of course, we got better on the offensive line, but they didn't look the best. The defense looks worse than I've seen it look in the last 5 years. I don't know how that happened. The Chicago Bears known to keep a defense. They known to, keep a little defense on them. But I ain't see no defense, bro. Like, I know it's the Lions. So even without Ben Johnson being their offensive coordinator, they're still going to have a high-power offense because of the weapons they have. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Williams. Like, they have weapons on that offense that can easily, each one of them can get 100 yards, whether it's rushing or receiving. But even to the Vikings, the Bears defense looked awful. That second half of that Vikings game, you let J.J. McCarthy get 3 touchdowns in the second half, and then I'm watching J.J. McCarthy in these next 1 or 2 games stink it up. He out with an injury right now, but they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Them defenses was on him. In the Chicago game, I'm thinking, like, he can't be this good. He can't be this good. Like, 3 touchdowns and like, y'all making him look like, oh, he finna be something this year. I still don't believe in JJ. The Bears defense just let him run amok, really. So Bears, y'all got a lot of things to figure out. If I was the GM, I would trade for a few defensive pieces, and I will also. The offense is fine. I'm not really worried about the offense. The only thing I'm worried about the offense is our quarterback. Like, when is he going to decide to show up and throw the ball accurately? But we need to make some trades on the defensive side for sure. But moving from Caleb Williams to the Dolphins and Bills game, overall, it was a decent game. But come fourth quarter time, Tua, I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Dolphins. Like, their offensive line is not that good. They defense showed flashes, but they're not the best in the league. Tua is not playing, the best. He's accurate at times, but other times, like you seen with the pick he threw for the game, like, I don't know what to do with the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, you put yourself in this situation. I don't want to hear any complaining. You left Kansas City for what? Money? Stats? You getting the money, but I don't know if you getting the stats. Because what? They double covering you down the field. Of course, y'all got weapons like Waddle. Achane is a stud. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad I didn't pick him up in fantasy. Achane is a freaking stud, bro. Like, the Miami Dolphins don't deserve. Actually, give him to us. Go trade DeAndre Swift for Achane. Obviously, the Dolphins won't do that, or they could do it. They'll just probably ask for more. But man, I love him. You could throw it to that flat. He gonna get you some yards after the catch. But Tyreek, you did this to yourself. Now you got to stick in a situation like a man, and you got to deal with it. The Dolphins are losing right now. I mean, of course it's against the Bills, but it was still a decent Thursday night game. And that's why I want to just go on to Josh Allen, man. I've not been the fondest of Josh Allen because of certain conversations saying who he's better than. And I wouldn't say it's crazy at the time because I truly believe this. And even though it was 4 months ago, I put Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen. But as far as this season goes, Josh Allen is my MVP candidate. He shouldn't have won it last year, but he's playing like he should win it this year more than any other quarterback. If I go to his stats right now, against the Dolphins, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, rating of 134. The Jets, 148 yards, 73 rating. Against the Ravens, 394 yards. We all seen that game. 2 touchdowns, 112 QB rating. So he's playing close to flawless this year. And the Buffalo Bills organization seems like they put a decent team around him. Like, he has a couple of weapons on the offensive end. And that defense looks very good too. That Buffalo Bills defense looks good. And after they beat the Ravens, I think in their head, they can beat anybody. After they beat the Ravens, I think they think that they can beat anybody. Who just beat the Chiefs? The Eagles. The Eagles just beat the Chiefs. If I'm the Bills and I just beat the Ravens and I just seen the Chiefs look like that against the Eagles, who's to say Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are not thinking, oh, we can go win it all? We can go win it all. Like, the Buffalo Bills look good. They look like a very good, serious team. Now, I want to see them against the Eagles and how they do against that team and how they play. But it's not too many teams out there that I think can compete. I want to see the Bills against the Steelers, the Bills against the Chargers. Those are just a few teams off the top of my head I want to see them play, just so I can see, just how they play against different teams. But I think the Bills can go win it all. They look like a very good team with a top MVP candidate and Josh Allen doing his thing. Like, I have no complaints about Buffalo and Josh Allen. I had complaints last year, but only because they were making these lists, putting certain quarterbacks ahead of other quarterbacks, like you putting Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. I'm not doing it. But as of right now, he is the top quarterback in the league, in my opinion, as of right now. But if you were to ask me this 4 months ago, no, it's not. No. And I want to touch on this real quick because it already passed, but it's still been on my mind. Canelo and Crawford. I didn't talk about it, but man, oh man. My Hispanics out there, how y'all feeling? It's been close to a week after the fight. My fellow Hispanics, how y'all feeling, man? I've been seeing TikTok videos and different videos of people crying, smashing TVs, throwing tantrums. Like, the TVs got the most hate. I seen some broken TVs, people throwing TVs off the balcony. Y'all good? But obviously not, because before this fight, everybody says Canelo. Canelo's going to beat Crawford. Canelo's the most experienced. Canelo is bigger. Canelo is the better fighter. Only one of those are true, really. And I don't even think the point of Canelo being bigger was true. I think that Crawford got in that ring looking like something. Before they even started boxing, he looks big. And y'all said Canelo look good. See, this is, and it's similar to the Spence fight, the Errol Spence fight, I was so confused because Errol Spence looks smaller than, like, just off the back, like them not even before they got into the promotion of their fight, people were saying that Errol Spence Jr. is bigger. I was like, where? Like he don't look bigger than like he not taller, he ain't bigger, but when they got in that ring, Crawford showed him that nah, he a little boy. And he did the same thing to Canelo. He outboxed Canelo. A lot of people saying Crawford was running, but no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. A couple of times, they baited each other a couple times. Like even Canelo was baiting Crawford, backing up, letting Crawford get some punches off, and then he tried to come back with that hook. Now, that's one thing I would give Canelo. That hook, that side hook, I don't care what Crawford say. I know his side was hurting days after that. Like, I don't care. He was still won the fight, but his side, oh yeah, it's some pain right there. Because that hook, he was coming so fast with that hook. I was like, ooh. If a normal person get hit with that hook, you probably in the hospital for days. Like, oh, my what's right here? A lung, a liver, or something? Something is getting torn or broke if a regular person gets hit with that type of punch. So Canelo was boxing, but Crawford just did it better, and he did most things in that fight better. And it was a great fight. It wasn't boring to me. It was exciting. I was like, wow. Like, because like it was exciting for so many reasons, but one of the reasons is, like I just said, so many people was like Canelo, and not just my Hispanics out there, like my own people, black people, white people, like a whole bunch of other people was saying like, nah, I think Canelo gonna get him. And I'm like, oh, now I'm just gonna take Crawford because like at first I was gonna go Canelo, but I'm like, I seen Terrence Crawford talk, and another reason why I went on Crawford's side is because you can see when he talk, he's real. Like some people, when you hear them talk, you'll be like, come on, bro, you lying, bro. Like, or you just know somebody lying and they not for real about what they saying. When I listen to Bud Crawford talk, I believe every word he says, bro. Every word. Like, and he backs it up. He said, when I stump a mud hole in you, is you gonna be a nobody? Yeah, we gonna see. You gonna be a nobody just like everybody else. And guess what? Canelo's name, as far as when we talk about the best boxers out right now, is gonna fade. And when it's time for his retirement stuff, we gonna be like, one of the greatest fighters ever. We gonna give him all his accolades, cool. But his name is gonna fade for right now, because Crawford really did that to that boy. He really did, man. So all these people that was saying Canelo, and that's usually how things happen. Like, when people be hyping certain things up and going to bat for something that you will look at and be like, I don't know if that's true. Or a lot of y'all are leaning towards this because of what? Like, and then when it's not true, or somebody loses, or something happens that's the opposite of what is said, people get quiet. People get mute. Like, even and I'm gonna talk about this later, but the Charlie Kirk situation, rest in peace to that man. Even though he was racist, he was fat, he was all of this. Even when it came to the killer, when they found out who the killer was, which I don't know if that's the real killer, but the killer that they put out and said who did it, a 22-year-old white man, family Republican, and I think he supported Trump and had Trump paraphernalia. It was mute. I promise y'all. But the day before, they was going crazy. They was, oh, the immigrants. And I don't even know where they got immigrants from. But somehow, like, Republicans and whatever side that is, I don't know the difference between right or left. Like, I'm not really political, even though I might start a political show, because a lot of y'all are putting out misinformation, and I don't like that. But that's another talk for another day. But I don't know which side is which, but that side that's for them white folks, they was talking crazy. They was talking crazy after Charlie Kirk got, oh, we need to go riot. We need to go do this. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe the Democrats always pushing this. It was probably a Democrat. It was probably an immigrant. It was probably a black monkey. They didn't say that. But they were insinuating that. So after they found out that this is a 20-year-old white Republican, they ain't saying nothing. Well, how did I get to this? Oh, yes. Just about people talking at one moment, and then when it's not true or somebody loses, like in the Canelo Crawford situation, I didn't hear nobody. I didn't hear no takes. I didn't hear no. Well, Canelo lost because it is. I did see a couple excuses, but I mean the main one was Crawford was running. Come on, bro. Come on. Canelo, you said he was gonna win. Canelo boxed, and he boxed well, but Crawford just boxed better. So. Shout out to Canelo, shout out to Crawford, shout out to both of them being, students of the game, and also, just sportsmen. Crawford brought back Canelo's belts, even though he did lose. Those are customized belts for Canelo, and they're eventually gonna send, Crawford those same belts, just customized to Crawford. And I love that moment, because when he walked up with the belts, Canelo's daughter went out with a hand, tried to get a high five. Crawford high fived. He shook his Canelo's wife's hand, just all straight respect. But he just beat his ass. He just stumped the mud hole in him, but still be respectful. I love athletes like that, and I love when sports, we can see a good match or a good game or a good fight and it still be sportsmanlike. Now, in some cases, it's not like that. And rivalries and real beef, when there's real beef there, sometimes they do shake it up at the end just to be respectful. But when there's real beef, you lose. I told y'all he was weak. He tried. And speaking of real beef, we gonna switch over to some basketball real quick. Went from football to boxing, now basketball. Pat Bev. See, that's the thing about these microphones, yo. Sometimes when you get a microphone in front of you, it's like, some people feel like they just get special powers where they can say anything. So Pat Bev, because I want to make sure I get the quote that he had. Pat Bev went on his podcast and basically said, it says Young's comments, because Trae Young, he responded. It says Young's comments come one day after Beverly said on his own podcast that Trae Young had not won enough to even speak to me. This is Pat Bev talking. Patrick Beverly, for those who don't know, NBA role player. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. I've been to the playoffs 9. My first 7 years, I didn't miss the playoffs at all. Okay. Patrick Beverly also said, I've talked to people who played in Atlanta. They don't want to play there. Why? They don't think he's a good leader. And, it's more, but he said that, and then Trae Young came back and basically said, We've been to the same amount of conference finals. Um, you're not able to speak to me like this because I have certain amount of all-stars, certain amount of accolades. And if we just talking about as basketball minds, basketball fans, we could all agree that Trae Young is a better player than Patrick Beverley. Okay. Let me choose my words wisely because I'm trying to go somewhere. Trae Young is a better offensive player than Patrick Beverley. But the question that and I could easily bring up their stats and we know Trae Young is mopping the floor with Patrick Beverley as far as stats. But I just want to start the conversation of, would you rather have Patrick Beverley on your basketball team when you're building a team, or would you rather have Trae Young on your basketball team when building a team? And this is not my Chicago bias. Don't shoot me, okay? But I'm picking Patrick Beverley over Trae Young. And I'm picking him because all around I know what I'm going to get, and what I get from Patrick Beverley, I want for my team more than what I'm going to get for Trae Young. So with Trae Young, Patrick Beverley spoke to his leadership, but with Trae Young, you're going to get some form of leadership because he is a point guard. He didn't get to this position because, for nothing. He also got to this position because of his scoring as well. His assist, he's a great passer. His 3-point shooting ability, but that's pretty much it. Nothing defensively, nothing as far as rebounds. I don't know about the steals, but I'm pretty sure they could be neck and neck if Patrick Beverley is not more in that category. But with Patrick Beverley, I get defense, I get grit, I get hustle, I get Pat Bev's rebound also. I get leadership. I get motivation. Like and I'm not saying Trae Young doesn't have these attributes. It's just that I've seen more of these attributes from Patrick Beverley, and I'm putting him on my team. Like, if I'm building a team, of course I want the Kevin Durant's of the world, the LeBron James of the world, the Stephen Curry's of the world. But who do I want coming off that bench helping me? Of course I want a defender. Of course I want a spot up shooter. Of course I want a creator. I'm just talking about coming off the bench. You get what I'm saying? And then I want that other person that's going to come on the floor and do the intangible things, do the gritty things. And that's Patrick Beverley. I'm sorry. Like, Trae Young hasn't really showed me anything over the past few years other than he can shoot and he can create for his teammates. But where has that got him? I mean, the playoffs a few times, playing games, and like, it don't make me want to watch Trae Young. Like, I think I would be more entertained watching Patrick Beverley than Trae Young. And I'm talking about the overall game of things. Like that game when I think it was the Clippers versus the Warriors. I think it was the first round. Like, that series was entertaining because, hey, I think Kawhi was out. Was Kawhi out? I think he was. Watching Lou Will and Patrick Beverley like do their best to guard and play Kevin Durant, but eventually it wasn't enough, but it was still entertaining. Like, I don't remember the last playoff series that Trae Young entertained me in. I mean, if I could think off the top of my head, maybe did they play the Celtics? Like, I don't even know who they played. That's how it comes off to me. I'm just saying, like, I'm not running to watch either player. But if you ask me who would I rather watch play, I would say Patrick Beverley. And that may sound crazy because we are also offensively minded. Oh, Trae Young, he can fade away three. I'm just talking about overall basketball. Like when I see Patrick Beverly steal a ball from LeBron James, clap in his face, I'm there, Nick. What? Like, we Patrick Bev in this grill. Like, just getting excited. Like, the threes is cool, but we kind of got used to that. Trae Young for 3D3. Oh, floater. Oh, he got that floater. But it's just I'm just giving my opinion. And I think it's a few conversations to be had, but this is one of the conversations that I definitely want to have. And let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on TikTok. I'm probably gonna post a TikTok, Instagram about it, but let me know because this is a interesting topic to me. But I'm taking Pat Bev. Now, if we just talking about a one-on-one, I might give the edge to Trae Young, because you need to be able to put the ball in the basket. But, I mean, let me look at their height, though. I want to look at their height because I might take Pat Bev in the one-on-one, too. Listen, I'm not saying Trae Young is not shifty. Trae Young don't got handles. Trae Young can't shoot. But, like, I do remember the Pat Bev that was averaging 30-something in high school. Maybe 35. Like, coming from being a scorer to have to be a role player, doing what he have to do to make the NBA. But he's still like that. Like, come on, bro. Hold on. Let me check they heights. Pat Bev height. Pat Bev is 6'2"? Pat Bev is 6'2"? Hold on. This might do it for me. Trae Young is 6 foot flat, and Pat Bev is 6'2". Give me Pat Bev one-on-one, man. Y'all finna stop playing with my man, bro. Because there's a lot of people out there that's on Trae Young's side. As far as what he said, I mean, they're both NBA players. So I feel like they can speak on each other. I'm not finna get on that mood point who can speak on who. They both NBA players. They can speak on each other. But one-on-one, and Pat Bev still in shape, playing defense on Trae Young, I'm taking Pat Bev one-on-one, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm taking Pat Bev. I don't care what nobody say. He's 6'0" flat. Come on, bro. Pat Bev 6'2". I didn't know Pat. It's not that much of a height difference, but I didn't know Pat Bev was taller than Trae Young. I didn't know that. Yeah, nah. I didn't know that. But moving on from that, the last thing I want to bring up is Charlie Kirk. Like I said, rest in peace to that man. I don't think anybody should be killed for their political opinion or their opinion at all, for that matter. But we all have the freedom of speech, the freedom to say whatever we want. But there's consequences to everything. And I'm not saying, killing someone is good. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if I go up to somebody's face and say, and I know their mother is deceased, and I say, that's why your mom died of cancer. Yeah, she dead in the grave. Her cancerous skeletons. I have free speech to say that. But what happens next is not up to me. If they pull out a gun, if they punch me in the face, whatever, I don't really have no control of that. And let's say if I pass away, let's say if they kill me right there in that spot, they're going to ask, hey, what led to this? Well, the people on that side is going to say, it don't matter what led to this. He should have never did that, which is true. But we still have to know what led to TJ getting shot or stabbed or whatever or killed just right here on the street. Well, he walked up to that person and their mom just passed away a week ago of cancer. And he said, F your mom, F your dead cancerous mom and her dead cancerous bones. Like wait, the regular person, not regular, but the average person would be like, oh, that's crazy. And a lot of people are going to think that is warranted for that. A lot of people are going to think, oh, yeah, like you sow bad seeds, you're going to get bad fruits. Like, you get what I'm saying? So that's kind of where this Charlie Kirk situation is. We all saw the video, and I don't want to touch too much on that because, you know, it was a violent video. But as far as the killer, let's fast forward to days later. They find a killer, and they said he jumped off a building, and he went through the woods. First of all, they said he unscrewed his sniper. This is why I love social media most times. Okay, because I'm learning something else, but we'll get to that later. But this is why I love social media sometimes, because they said he unscrewed the rifle, he put it in his shirt and pants and jumped off the roof with it, and then went to the woods, screwed it back on and hid the gun, and then went somewhere else. And then this is why I love social media. The rifle police, the people who love guns, the people who use guns for recreational use, are saying a sniper like that, you can't just unscrew. This is a hunting rifle. Like, you can't just unscrew this so easily, jump off a building with it, like. And I'm like, thank y'all for relaying this information, because it just sounds a little fishy. And a lot of this sounds fishy. And now we get to Candace Owens. Like I said, I'm not a political guy. I didn't really know who Charlie Kirk was. I just knew that he supported Trump and that he debated kids. He debated one of my past kids. I think it was at Illinois State or something. I seen him on TikTok. I was surprised, but you know, they was talking a sports conversation. But I just knew him from that. I didn't know all the racist stuff he said until after his death, and social media, they show me timelines of him talking badly about George Floyd after he died, making that a trend in his community, saying a whole bunch of racist stuff. Like, there's receipts on social media. That's the benefit of social media. We have receipts of everything. But we get to Candace Owens. I know a little bit about Candace Owens more than I did Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk was her friend. And she just came out with some evidence that 15 minutes after the shooting, or 10 minutes, something like that, 10 to 15 minutes after the shooting, the shooter that they arrested was found at a Dairy Queen or whatever restaurant he was found at, with a whole different shirt on and a cap. And she was like, it's no way he could have got from here to here during that time and this be the shooter. She said a whole bunch of other things. I would suggest that y'all go watch her video or her live that she did. But I'm seeing some things on social media, and we can get a lot of misinformation from places. But in this instance, I think our country is giving us misinformation. As far as these Epstein files, as far as Israel, like, I don't want to go down this political rabbit hole because this is not a political podcast. But a great public figure was assassinated in front of thousands of people. And at first, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I thought I didn't think they was going to find this killer to after 3 months. I'm thinking this killer is already gone, but they find him in 3 days. And that was just a little odd to me because it looked like a professional shooter and a professional hit. But this 22-year-old just came out and admitted that, he killed him, and then they're saying that he's not speaking to the police at all. Of course he's not, because y'all probably paid him or told him not to speak. Like, did y'all hire him to take the fall? I don't believe this 22-year-old killed Charlie Kirk. I think our government is giving us misinformation like they have been for years. And like, the power of social media. The power of social media. I seen a older man talking about how this is just history repeating itself. They're trying to silence our people. They're trying to make false stories. I think Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air because he said something about Charlie Kirk. The freedom of speech is currently trying to be taken away because the truth, like, people have eyes, people have ears, people have knowledge. Like, the people in our government are not the smartest people in the world, especially when it comes to specific topics or specific subjects or specific genres of life. They're not the most educated on everything, but you have certain people that's educated on guns. They talked about you can't just unscrew the gun. They're on social media talking because they have platforms now. The power of social media, the power of the tongue is good and bad, but like, people that used to be in the military. Oh yes, this was a professional shot because he did it from this angle, and if they were really an assassin and trying to get away, they wouldn't have took this route. Like, people who've been overseas in deserts and jungles on missions for this crazy country. They train for this. So like, you have professionals in certain fields talking, but then you have a person who's trying to be the head of the FBI, or who is, I think his last name is Patel. He ain't answering questions when they questioning him about the Epstein files. He looking like he on some type of drugs and some, or he just had too many cups of coffee or something. Like, misinformation, neglect of information. Misleading. That's what a lot of this is, especially with this Trump administration, and we just about to hit a year, y'all. And I'm done with this topic, because if I start a political show, y'all can go see it on that show. But y'all, the power of social media is big, and it can mislead you, but it can also educate you. So just prepare yourselves, prepare y'all families, because I would say this: we're heading into a dark place, and I'm a firm believer of it's going to get worse before it gets better, and we're kind of creeping into that worse. Instead of trying to help certain communities with their poverty problem, with their education problem, with their community problem, you send in the National Guard. Don't send the National Guard to Chicago. Send money to help underprivileged programs. So the youth is the key. The youth is the key. We build up the youth, we have a better future. But no. You want to send in military. You want to send in weapons. You want to send in force. That says a lot about our leader. A lot of things that's going on right now says a lot about a lot of people, and I'll leave it at that. That's all I got for y'all today, man. One of the most important things in this world is to try to help others, y'all, because a little bit of inspiration, just a little bit, it can go a long way, man. Mr. Game Changer, I'm signing out.